My name is Adam Brion. I'm the VP of Sales at Sanzo. So Sanzo is a sparkling water, but we're made with real authentic Asian fruit. And so everything we do is centered around the Asian culture and using fruits that are commonly found in Asian countries. We really fill the gap between, people wanting to explore global flavors, but wanting to do it in a healthier way than what maybe traditional Asian countries provide, which are laden with sugar. We found an opportunity to really bridge that cultural gap and bring those Asian flavors forward in a way that would meet the whole food standard of ingredients. A brand of our size, we don't have 100% household penetration, and for us it's really getting the feedback from the consumer. They vote with their dollars, and we can see that in syndicated data. But we had the opportunity to really do a Costco roadshow and hear directly from consumers. What two things that came out of that were price point. We were definitely a premium to the sparkling water category, which has become commoditized. And then because we are made with real fruit, they anticipated a little bit bolder flavor. And so we weren't quite hitting the flavor mark point. So with that, we made some changes, reformulation, but we had a really hard time emulating that direct consumer feedback, and Social Nature was the perfect way to kind of, in a microscope, get that feedback back based on those changes we had made previously. So like I said, we did a reformulation that helped bring bolder flavor and bring down our price point. The first retailer we did so with on a clean slate, everything was reformulation, was Walmart, where we'd gotten the price down from a $9.99 six-pack to $8.88. We started a kind of a two-pronged thing with Social Nature. Was first to drive product awareness and get consumers to go buy off the shelf and help us start to prove the case. But then the feedback was very clear that the flavor was much better, delivered on what the consumer expectation was. And then the second thing was that $8.88 still wasn't the right price point. And so with that data, we use that to leverage a rollback with the buyer. And we went from $8.88 to $6.98. We've been doing that price point for about 8 weeks now. We just went to Bentonville to meet with our buyer. Excited to share that since doing the rollback, our velocities are up 104%. We basically doubled our velocities. And so use that to pitch from going to 130 stores out west to a commitment from Walmart to go to 1,200 stores, leveraging the data from the Social Nature campaign, even down to what flavors they wanted to try next. We were able to get our 5th and 6th SKUs live on Walmart 1P because of the data we've gotten from those surveys. For me, it was the price. So Walmart, we were talking to I'm going to say pretty much new consumers. 81% of consumers had never tried our brand, so we're new to brand. 79% repurchase intent, which is amazing. We love to hear that. And then when we drilled into the 21% that said they wouldn't repurchase, 69% of that was based on price, thinking it wasn't a good value or it was priced too high. And so that's what really led us to going from $8.88 to $6.98 every day with a rollback at Walmart. Head and shoulders above. I think those other platforms, do a halfway decent job of driving trial and awareness. But I believe you guys do it in a more targeted way. And then what sets you guys apart is the trial. I think it's the consumer base that you have, especially for a brand like us, is our pocket. That's where those are the kind of consumers we want to speak to and want to hear from. But then the ability to actually get that feedback through those surveys, and the fact that the surveys are customizable, working with you to customize like what we wanted to get out of the campaigns and the information we wanted to hear from the consumer. That was not something that anybody else provides. I think it's the availability. I mean, as I've had questions or things like that, you've been amazing to just connect very quickly, work through, troubleshoot anything. Even the issues we were kind of having at the start with Bizarre Voice, that's another positive thing, is like the ability to syndicate all these reviews we're getting over to Walmart.com was a big part of that 1P conversation. Small hiccups on the Bizarre Voice side, but you were amazing throughout it, giving me the right contacts and the right information to make sure that eventually started to flow through. I mean, you've been amazing since day one. I had a little bit of experience with Social Nature, but not this in depth. And so having you to help guide me has been phenomenal, and making sure that even as a small brand with, not the same resources as a Coke or a Pepsi, like making sure that we're taking our dollar and stretching it out further and really optimizing what we're doing. You've been amazing in helping us do that. And then, helping me structure the questions and knowing what I wanted to get as an end result, what I wanted to hear from the consumer, helping walk them through that survey. You were amazing at that. So I really appreciate that. 100%. Especially if you are a smaller, scrappier brand. Once you get on shelf at some of these new accounts, you have to start producing day one. The quickest way is to consumer and drive them to the shelf. The Social Nature is an amazing tool. You can geo-target. You can get them, whether it's free or BOGO, the ability to go to the shelf you want them to. You can really steer them to the right retailer that you're trying to drive that activity in. And the trial and awareness is great, but the consumer feedback is invaluable. I mean, you can't put a price on it. It's amazing.